Hey Nick, how fine is the line of having confidence, the resiliency that you can find ways to win when you're not playing at your best, and then the frustration that you're not playing at your best? How fine is that line?
You're just always trying to get better each week, and that's what we're trying to do is try to get better each week. And sometimes you're going to be, there's going to be plays in each week. There's going to be plays every single week where there's going to be spurts of good football. There's going to be spurts of football that's not so good, right? And you're just trying to minimize that and appreciate the win, but also striving to get better. I think striving to get better. There is a fine line, like you said. Like there is. Man, we won, but gosh, this could have been better. I think that's what makes a lot of good players great. Is that striving to get better, and I'd say the same thing with coaches. So there is this where you never have that feeling of satisfied, but you got to enjoy it too. You got to enjoy the wins as well.
What are you seeing from Kyler Murray since he's been back? I mean, are you seeing him move around like he used to before? Is it?
He still can go. He's still a really, really good player. Obviously, each week he gets more healthy. And you got to know where he is. I mean, it's not where you know where he is in each play. He's always behind the center, but you got to account for him on each and every play. He's really, really outstanding. And he is a playmaker, right? He can make plays with his arm and his mind and his feet. So a lot of respect for him, and I think they're doing a good job with him. He's doing a good job this year, and we got a challenge this week.
Matt mentioned their team speed. Is that something that stands out to you?
It is, yeah. I think they got some skill players that have some really good speed. Obviously, on offense, and obviously the quarterback, makes that when he's touching the ball every time, and he has the type of speed that he has, that can show off the team speed as well. They got tight ends that can go. So. And then they got a big bruising running back in Connor, who's an outstanding player, and I got a lot of respect for him as well. But you definitely see that speed when you put on the tape.
In terms of the bigger picture of the season, does games like this present interesting opportunities when you have like Britton Covey, people like that showing up in the offense that you could find opportunities for?
I mean, you're doing everything you got to do to win each and every game. So sometimes, like last week, Britton Covey had an opportunity based off of the defense and some of the things they were doing to different personnel groups. This week, we'll see. But the things like always, the offense will go through, the pass game offense will go through, the three guys that I always mention, and there's going to be some opportunities for some other guys as well.
Nick, you had mentioned how you thought you were too tense on the sidelines in some of the moments last week. Obviously, you're one of the people that sets the temperature for the team overall. You reflect on that at all during? It's obviously been a season that has had a sense of tension to it, and sort of your role in that. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, that's why I said what I said last week. You're always trying to, every time in a game, after a game, I'm really thinking about, were the guys ready to play physically? Did I do the right things throughout the week to help them be ready to play physically? I mean, just physically play. Did I take enough time off practice? Did I do enough on practice? All those different things. You also think about, did I manage the game well? What are the mistakes I made there, or what are the good things I did there? Then you also think about, my role with the offense. Were the designs the way they needed to be on offense? What could we have done better here? And then you think about the messaging to the team as well. That's my last thing there as the head coach, is the messaging. So you go through that each and every week of what you think. Last week I felt like, in the midst of that game, it wasn't so much the messaging, but it was more so in that tense moment, and that I did that, and I didn't like it. Just like everything else, you evaluate. Hey, I didn't like that I didn't call a timeout after the Kenny's not getting out of bounds, got tackled in bounds, and then the same thing here. So you just evaluate that each and every week, and I think that's just the process of your process each and every week of what can I have done better here, and that's what I felt last week, and that's what I shared with you guys.
We'll go Zach, and then we'll flip
it. On the topic of takeaways and turnover differential, last year you and Gannon were kind of adamant that it's not a luck-based statistic. It's kind of coached up. Is it the type of thing where you're seeing it more as a luck-based thing this year, or do you still think it's a product of technique and coaching?
Yeah, I think that it's always going to be a product of that. Now, are there some unlucky bounces? Yes. But, Zach, I do believe that every team has those, right? There's every team that's going to be like, if we just didn't do this one, and this one with that unlucky bounce, but everybody has those, right? And that go both ways. And so I do believe those even themselves out. And so, yeah, I firmly believe still that we got to continue to harp on it and do a better job of what we're doing as far as the way we're coaching it, and then also we got to execute it better. So it's always in that, and that's how I feel about that, Zach. I think that's a really good question because there has been some unlucky bounces. I just feel like those things, and I think I said this maybe on the radio this week. Like there's sometimes I get upset about a call or something like that, but those things have a tendency of evening themselves out as well. And so you can't get wrapped up in the ones that might not be bouncing your way, because I do believe that in this game and in 17 game season that that all that stuff evens itself out. So we'll wait for some of those to bounce our way, but it always starts with what we can control, and that's the way we coach it, the way we execute it, and the detail within that.